Never. I've never spoken to him. I've never met him. I do not know him from Adam. No, and I'm serious about it.
Even though that is not mentioned in any part of the Bible. Alright guys, a lot of people in Nigeria right now, some are either supporting VDM and some are either supporting Femi Falana, Fast Father, and some Bobrisky. The whole lot of issues has gotten controverted. A lot of things are in the issues, and we are going to look at some points where Femi Falana was actually contradicting himself, trying to defend his song. That's what I have seen so far, because VDM released the part 2 of the Bobrisky audio when she was lodged in a luxury apartment, not in prison, and every details from the audio can tell you exactly what you want to know. Yeah, and in this audio, Bobrisky mentions son, not a godfather again, not Femi Falana, not falz. She or he mentioned son, and when you look at it, that son is Femi Falana, as a lot of people are saying. So that's the controversy. But Femi Falana said he has not met this guy Bobrisky before. There's no encounter with him and Bobrisky. Whether his son has not met this guy before, it's just a happy hand. Now let's take a look at the whole issue. Femi Falana actually said in one interview where he says some things that he doesn't see Bobrisky before. So Bobrisky actually called his son blah blah blah, and in other interview right now, he also says some things. I'm going to leave you to watch the 2 interviews so that you heard from the horse's mouth, not my own personally. But I think this is the time that he has a reputation. Yeah, I know he has done a lot, he has passed through a lot, but that does not clarify that when we are talking of corruptions, if they are involved, they should not be dealt with accordance with the law. When they are involved, they should face the law, because that's the height of corruption, and people are trying their best to stop corruption in Nigeria, and some are also trying their best to put corruption in place in the highest rank in Nigeria. So let's listen to his audio, the first one and the second one.
Falz. Yes, my son said this guy was appealing to people for assistance and called my son, I think on May 4 thereabout this year. Please, can you give me 3 million naira to be placed in a special part of the prison? We'll call it the VIP section. And my son asking, are you calling me under the authorization of the superintendent of prisons? He said, no, please, don't call me again. I'm unable to assist you to bribe the prison authorities. And be very careful, since you're already in jail for an offense. Please, if you are going to call me next time, you either do it through the superintendent or you write a letter endorsed by the prison authorities. And that was the last. Somebody now said he listened to a tape somewhere and went out to lampoon and rather defend me by saying the guy had spoken to me. Of course, we are going to examine the call logs, and my son has also said this was the guy who originated a call to me. My son has never negotiated fees on behalf of anybody. On the contrary, my 3 children normally refer people who need assistance to me. In the last 42 years of my legal practice, I have never ever demanded for a kobo to write a letter of pardon for anybody. And my work in this area is not limited to Nigeria. Guys don't know me. They also don't know my son, even though it's of their generation. He stands out for principle. He stands out for decency. and will never go out of his way to front for me. The guy doesn't want anybody to know that it's my son. Refer victims of injustice, victims of human rights abuse to us without any condition attached. And just recently, I was telling him in particular, come, you and your sisters, you just send people to us. The way you are going, very soon, we'll be sending you our bill. We just laugh over it. So he can never, because he knows it is not our practice to take money for pardon. So he couldn't have been talking about money. And if you look at that tape very well, I think the guy was alleged to be saying, Falz has said that my father will help to write a letter of whatever, but Nigeria being very corrupt, we may need 10 million naira. He didn't say he was going to give me 10 million naira. In the so-called private discussion with somebody, it was somebody else who now decided to interpret the recording and now saying, oh, I'm disappointed that Falana can take 10 million naira to write a letter of pardon. Oh, I used to have respect for him. So it was totally uncalled for. And if you now say, I'm your uncle, as we are being told now, why did you not put a court through? This is the allegation flying around. Is it true that you were going to, or that you had collected, because they say I had collected 10 million naira, to write a letter of pardon for a convict? Again, as I said, it is not part of our practice.
Let me get your perspective on this. You've mentioned that you will pursue civil proceedings instead of criminal charges against a very dark man. Why did you choose this route? And I'm sure you have also explored the Cybercrime Law Act in order to file charges against him. Why have you decided to pursue civil proceedings?
Frankly speaking, many people, including senior lawyers, suggested that I should file a criminal complaint. Some of these guys, who I believe are mentally deranged, dared me. If you go to court, we shall burn your office. They have also sent messages to one of my daughters that if your father goes to court, we shall kill you. I beg your pardon, in this country. I just laughed and I asked my girl, don't worry, I will take it up. I've already taken that up. Because we must also let these guys know where we are coming from. We fought against some of the most murderous military regimes in Africa. The fact that I'm alive today is Sherlock. I've never spoken to him. I've never met him. I do not know him from Adam. No, and I'm serious about this. My son, before this incident, never told me anything about him. It was after that publication that I called him, what happened? And he said, on May 4 this year, this guy called me from the correctional center and he asked him, are you calling through the superintendent of prisons? He said no. He said, please, I'm trying to raise 3 million naira so that I can be placed in a special part of the prison, as in the VIP section. Man said, please stop calling me. And if you are going to call me next time, do it through the proper channel, or if you are going to write a letter, let it be endorsed. I had to ask him, right? I mean, what gave you that idea about Dad? You were regularly detained in a prison, so I should be familiar with the laws and regulations. So I know under the law, you can't communicate with anybody outside the prison without going through the official, channel. And if you're going to send a letter, it must be endorsed. So I was being careful and advising. I know you appeal to other people, but that was it. And that was the last time my son spoke to him. It had nothing to do with pardon, right? Because my son knows that we do not charge for pardon. So he couldn't have been discussing or negotiating. And my son has never negotiated our fees with anybody. On the contrary, he sends people here, right, for us to handle their matters pro bono, without taking a dime.
Guys, I hope you guys have listened to Femi Falana's own points of the whole situation or the whole story. What do you think? Do you think he's contradicting himself, or he's trying his whole best to protect his son or to defend his son? What do you think? Do you think Very Dark Man is actually getting into something that he's not going to live to finish? Because this man, we know that Femi Falana has passed through a lot. He has been in prison in several occasions. He has been a judge and a lawyer that defend a whole lot of activists, a whole lot of people that he has won. He's never lose a case. We all know his story, how he managed to do a whole lot of things. So what do you think? Do you think VDM will be held responsible instead of Bobrisky? Because when you listen to some of his speaking, it's actually like they have forgotten Bobrisky and they are focused on VDM. Was he is just a mouth speak? He just brought something out there. This is the evidence that I have, and somebody is trying to defame somebody's name. So what are they supposed to do? Actually, they have to catch the person that brought the first audio, the person in the audio, not the one that is interpreting what is in the audio. I think so. But you guys, what do you think? Whatever you think about all these scenarios, drop it in the comment section. Thank you for watching this channel.